I know what you're thinking. Who's this guy? I'm the new promo reader, also known as Fernando's brother, but I would like to be known as Dan and Dago. I'm also here to remind Gilberto that Tim Tebow will dominate the 2021 season. He is going to be a security blanket for Trevor Lawrence, and he will not hear the end of it from me. Oh, I can already taste that sweet victory in the form of whiskey. You'll see, Gilberto. Just wait. Oh, yeah. You already know Compas approves of Manscaped and the Lawnmower 4.0. I said 4.0. Just over 2 million people worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, the viewer. 20% off of a worldwide shipping with code COMPAS at manscaped.com. Need me to say that again? The promo code is Compas. So let the Compas hook you up. Get yourself a Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 today. Now let's get to Compas on the beat. Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I am Fernando Ramirez, Chargers beat reporter for Sports Illustrated, and with me, as always, my co-host and tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, Chargers beat reporter for the OC Register and LA Daily News. What's up, bro?
You threw me off. I was expecting.
Bro, I took a pause for the cause.
Wow, I was gonna be like, not today. Damn, you got me. Maybe I do miss it sometimes. Oh, I hate that. That was pretty good. And then I was gonna say something else too, and I lost my train of thought. But how about that promo from Dan and Diego? What was that about? You know, Cowboy hat. Is he attacking me with his Tebow stuff? I'm gonna win that bet. Dan and Diego, whatever you want to be called. I said Danny. I'm gonna call Danielito. Whatever you want me to. I'll call you whatever. But I just wanted to mention it because that was a great little promo you had. But enough with the cheap shots, man. Like
it was pretty good. It was pretty good. But you're the one that opened the dragon cage. You're the one that you started talking about it last week, and he got fired up. But I mean, that's just what Tebow, I guess, brings to the NFL. Some people like him, some don't. Some believe in him, some don't. It was just that promo read though. Wow, like that's some funny stuff. So that was pretty good. I liked it. I liked the cowboy hat, the sunglasses. Gilbert, what did you do to my brother?
I don't know, but it was a great start to Compas, and I'm fired up now. I feel like it's like a little rivalry between Dan and Diego and Gilberto Manzano. What do you call it? Gilberto, whatever that was. But anyways, okay, that was a good. I lost my train of thought, but we're bearing the lead, Fernando. I didn't want to waste a lot of time because we have a jam-packed Summer Jam lineup of guests this week to kick off. I know it's summer, and well, it's not really summer because it's June 1st, but summer came earlier this year. Can you give us a list for the Summer Jam lineup?
Gilbert, I love the excitement, bro. Finally, some energy from you. And if you're hyped, that means obviously, if we're getting that kind of energy from you, that means we must have some superstar guests. And damn right we do. First, we talked to Mr. Ochocinco himself, the great Chad Johnson. The former star wide receiver is now a pro boxer. He's going to get in the ring. We'll hear about his boxing debut, training, and all that leading up to the fight this Sunday in the Floyd Mayweather-Logan Paul Showtime pay-per-view broadcast. Then we're not done, Gilbert. Then we talked to Chargers rookie cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. I still can't believe he was available for the Chargers. Fell to them in the second round. Incredible. We asked him about looking to prove teams wrong and some very good stuff, Gilbert. It's jam-packed.
Like I said, Fernando, we have a summer jam, a summer slam. Every type of summer lineup you can think of. No lies were told. That was a loaded guest lineup. Ochocinco, Asante Samuel Jr. This is a loaded show, so keep listening, and we bring the heat every week. So again, like I told you guys on YouTube, subscribe, turn on the little bell thingy, notifications, do it on the audio, Apple, Spotify. But again, I'm feeling good because, your brother got me a little hyped up, but I feel like the weather is nice. It's June 1st. I know it's not technically summer, but again, I keep saying SummerSlam, Summer Jam, but also summer movies are coming out too, Fernando. And you were speaking about Fast and the Furious, and you were kind of debating with people on Twitter. So, I know you want to reveal your summer lineup of movies, blockbuster movies. So I got to ask you, what are we doing here now? Are you a movie critic now?
Well, before the pandemic, I that was my thing. I would go to the movies. I had the AMC stub card where you got to go into a movie. I think once a month you could go into
Oh
three
yeah.
movies a week. And dude, at one point, I think I was going about 2 or 3 times a week. And then it was funny because I would, and I'd go watch it and everything. I remember quick story, real quick. My dad went to go watch The Joker, and he goes with my mom, and they asked me how was it. It was a couple of years ago, and I'm like, dude, The Joker was really good. They go see it 2019. I remember when it came out. They go watch it, and they come back home, and I'm like, oh, how was it? My dad's like, ugh. I was like, what? He's like, no me gustó, and I'm like, why not? And then he's like, ¿Y Batman? No salió Batman. And I'm like, dude, I told you there's no Batman. He's like, then he goes up and grabs some little kid's face, and I was like, that's Bruce Wayne. I foreshadowing, and then I just started laughing. I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. He's like, no, 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 a mí no me gustó. And then I just started laughing. He said no action. And I just started laughing. My dad's not a big like superhero movie person.
Can I just say that I agree with your dad. I was the same way. I'm like, he won an Oscar for this. I'm like, the other Batman was better with the Dark Knight. So I'm with your dad.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, my dad he was like, eh. And then I asked my mom, and mom's like, oh my God, it was creepy. And I was like, what?
That's
She's
true.
like, it's kind of like a Quentin Tarantino movie, like all this like weird stuff and all the like, it's just crazy. And I mean, spoiler out there, if you haven't seen it, well, it's your fault. But when he
Been 2
goes in,
years.
when you think he's with the girlfriend and everything, and you're like, oh wow, his life is finally settling in. And then you see it's all a mirage, and you're like, dude, he cooked it up. He got it in his head, and it's just incredible. I thought it was an incredibly well put together film. But yeah, I'm a movie critic, and if I say so myself, Fast and Furious should continue making movies forever, especially if we're gonna put some of these actors we're putting into these movies. I mean, you cannot watch. I don't care if you disagree, whatever. But here is my movie lineup, Gilbert.
Ooh.
Over the weekend, Cruella came out with Emma Stone.
That came out already?
Yep, came up over the weekend. It should be I'm okay with these Disney remakes, live action. I'm like, okay, like Cruella a couple of years ago, they did one with I can't remember the name of the actress who did it. Oh my God. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. But
look it up for you.
But Glenn Close. Glenn Close
Okay.
was I think she was Cruella. And she was very good as Cruella. She did a great job. Emma Stone is a very good actress. Yeah, Glenn Close. I knew I was right. Emma Stone is a very good actress. She's done a lot of good stuff. I've never seen her as a heel. And yes, I'm going to use heel. I don't care what you guys think. It's not WWE, whatever.
It's villain.
A heel. The heel. And but she should do a good job. That's a movie I'm looking. A Quiet Place 2, Gilbert. Did you watch number 1?
No, I haven't even. I'm not even sure what movie you're talking about.
Bro, A Quiet Place with John Krasinski, where there's creatures out there. You can't make a single noise. Gilbert, a guy like me, high energy, I'd have been eaten up by one of these aliens. I'm too high energy to be quiet. It's a great movie, Gilbert. If I was
when is
number
the date
2,
for that one?
that came out over the weekend too, the Memorial Day weekend.
Where have I been? I haven't even been to a movie theater during the pandemic or after the pandemic.
Neither have I. I haven't been yet. But I'm gonna go. So this is
a good time right now to get the lineup.
Yeah. John Krasinski is the director, and he's with his wife Emily Blunt. She's in the movie too. It's his wife and everything. So very good movie. Watch number 1, then go watch number 2. Gotcha. John Krasinski as a director so far is not disappointed. I think he's done some very good stuff. So that's over the weekend. What just came out. That's how we're leading this off. We're
gonna sound kind of dumb for now.
Yeah, no.
Is that the guy from The Office?
Oh yeah, bro. Jim.
Okay, I got it right.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding. There you go. Yeah.
Like that last name. He's a director now.
He's a director, bro. He's doing a lot of good stuff.
Jimbo. Okay.
Jimbo Laba Ding Dong. Jimothy.
Big Tuna.
Yeah, Big Tuna.
That last name was like, that sounds familiar. Like, I don't want to sound dumb if I don't know who that is, but okay, cool. It's Jim. It's Jim to me.
Yeah, exactly. Friday, June 25th, Fast and Furious 9. Gilbert, that's if you look at every single movie weekend, there's 2 movies coming out. There's not this weekend, bro. Only one is getting released. Fast and Furious 9, because nobody else wants to compete with that movie.
Nothing else?
No, they don't want to compete. They don't want to. They know Fernando is getting John Cena as a heel. That's what he's excited about. That's what I want. Man, I'm telling you, I'm hyped for this movie. I'm not going to get into it because I already did last week or
I
2
like
weeks
the
ago.
list so far. I like it. Yeah, you got
All
into
right.
it.
Now we go to Friday, July 9th. Black Widow. Ooh.
Ooh, they've been holding that one,
They've
right?
been holding that one. Fast and
Yeah,
Furious was supposed to come out last year, a year ago.
that's
But they had
crazy.
to hold it in their back pocket. Same with Black Widow. They've had to hold it in their back pocket. Now it's gonna come out. Black Widow's interesting. I mean, obviously, I mean, if you didn't watch Avengers, then it's your own fault. But this might be one of the last times we see Black Widow or Scarlett Johansson. I think she's done a good job with the character. I think she's improved the character. That's gonna be a good one. I'm very excited for Black Widow, Gilbert. Are you gonna go see that one?
You know, you might hate me on this show, but I'm not a big fan of the Avengers
Okay, so we're
movies.
moving on.
But okay, go ahead. I actually
No.
stopped myself before, but it looks interesting. The Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. I am a fan, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean, who isn't?
I know.
Friday,
But
July 16th, Escape Room 2. Did you ever watch number 1?
no, I'm so terrible with all
So
these
number
movies.
1, Gilbert, they get all these people, right? Like people who have a rap sheet and are in prison and stuff. They get them to do an escape room. But an escape room, you go in there, then you get out, right? Not in this one. In this one, people die.
Ooh.
Number 1 was very good. I remember I watched it with my brother.
People die. Okay.
Yeah, my brother, my sister, and my little cousin. Man, we were freaked out. And one of those, like, they took your worst. They interview you before. They take your worst fear and make it real. So
Oh,
this ex firefighter, her worst fear was fire because her partner died in fire. So
Jesus.
she's holding onto this cable, and like the thing catches on fire. She lets go, and
Oh, can I ask you what's your worst fear?
I don't know. No, I shouldn't say it because then I'll get in trouble. I don't know what it is. I mean,
I don't mind. Put me in an escape room with a bunch of avocados, and I'm forced to eat it.
exactly. There you go. Oh, having to drink myself out of with alcohol in the
Imagine.
room, I guess. I don't know.
Call me in. I'll help you out.
exactly.
Imagine that one.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Escape Room 2. I recommend watching number 1, Gilbert. Number 1 ended
All right,
like you're like, oh my god.
I have some
Number
homework to
2,
do. Okay.
you have some homework. That same weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but Space Jam 2 comes out.
What's the weekend again? I forget.
July 16th.
Okay, I got time.
That's Space Jam 2 comes out, Gilbert,
Ooh,
with
LeBron
LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, some of these. I don't know if Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's going to be in it. It should be an interesting one. Then we just got an interesting fact that Michael Jordan might be in it.
Ooh, okay.
So
Now
that's going to be
watching
very
for
interesting.
the old heads.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Is Charles Barkley going to appear? We don't know. It's going to be. I don't know if I want to watch this just because it looked too futuristic for me, and the original didn't. Like the original was good, solid. I don't know how this one's gonna go, but
childhood. You know, the original was good, so I feel like I kind of want to relive it. But this is one of those? Can you watch it on HBO Max? Like, I don't want to go to theater for that one though.
I think you can. I think
Perfect.
it's gonna come out on HBO Max. You know, it's funny. My original plan when LeBron had joined the Heat, I'm like, if they want to do a Space Jam 2, have Kobe Bryant, like LeBron be the supposed like hero at the beginning, but LeBron ends up joining the Monstars, and Kobe Bryant and him have to face like their teams have to face each other.
That would have been sick.
And I'm like, that way you give everybody Kobe against LeBron. Whether if it's in a movie, it would still be incredible. But obviously, Warner Brothers didn't want to listen to me, and they didn't do the movie. But hey, it should be an interesting one. I'll probably end up watching it just because I'm a curious. I love movies, and I'm curious about it. Friday, July 23rd. Did you ever play with GI Joes?
Yeah, of course. Who didn't?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Snake
Yeah,
Eyes comes out.
Is it G.I. Joe movie?
No, it's a Snake Eyes from GI Joe. Snake Eyes.
Okay.
It's gonna be his own
who's in
movie.
it? Who's the
I don't know.
actor?
I don't know.
You're a terrible movie critic.
Are
Okay.
you kidding? I've given you gold right now.
All right, keep going. Keep going. Come on.
All right, Friday, July 30th, Jungle Cruise with The Rock,
Ooh,
the
The
People's
Rock.
Champion, in front of the millions and millions of The Rock supporters. Yeah, exactly.
You sold me already with The Rock. If you could.
There you go. And then, but dude, The Rock is wearing like some skin tight stuff that you're just like, oh my God, what historian would be wearing that? But I guess he shows his chest too and everything. I'm like, wow. I'm like, how would a historian pump so much iron back in the day? But I guess he's with Emily Blunt. So Emily Blunt hitting the
blunt out.
Yeah, I was about to say
Where
hitting the
you
big
go?
screen twice this summer. So there
Never
you go.
heard that one before.
Speaking of hitting the big screen twice this year, my boy John Cena, Friday,
Ooh.
August 6th, The Suicide Squad 2.
Oh,
He's gonna be the Peacemaker.
okay. He's not the
So
Joker.
no, he's not the Joker. What's his name is also in it. Harley Quinn's I think Harley Quinn's in it. Idris Elba is in it. He's one of
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Suicide Squad members. Bro, there it
Former
is,
member
Fernando.
of the Office cast who
Oh yeah, Idris Elba was in it too. Yeah, him and Jim didn't like each
yeah,
other.
there you
Remember
go.
that?
So we get clashing directors
I
and
still laugh at the episode where they all learn that he loves soccer.
oh yeah.
And Stanley pulls out the notes. He's like, I like Argentina better. I love Diego Maradona. And then he's like, I didn't know there were so many soccer guys. So they go play soccer outside. Jim kicks it and hits Phyllis in the no. Idris Elba kicks it. Jim ducks and
Oh yeah. He's supposed to be like the best player and he wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that he grew up playing soccer and everything. So and Dwight obviously is like, Jim, really? I didn't know you were so good at soccer. So it's an incredible episode. But that's my movie lineup for this summer.
Okay.
Go out there, watch these. You won't be just Space Jam is the only one that I'm a little bit nervous about. But other than that, it should be a good summer to hit the movie theaters.
Okay, I'm gonna forget this, but send me the list and I'm gonna watch all the movies. And if you have two that are terrible, I won't trust you ever again. How about that?
Bro, I'm just trying to give you whatever
And
I can.
I'm kind of I'm a hard critic too, man. Like,
Oh no, I'm tough. Like there's some movies where I'm like we can get into that later, but the trilogy of Star Wars, that crap that they try to give me a couple of like these last three movies were terrible. Well, the seventh one wasn't that bad, but eight
I
and
kind
nine,
of like
Jesus.
them, so I was just all right.
To me, the originals will always be better, but hey, whatever. But now let's jump over a little bit, Gilbert. We mentioned it. This weekend, a big fight card. Floyd Money Mayweather against YouTube sensation and I guess now boxing what boxer I don't know what to call him, Logan Paul. Gilbert, you're a boxing insider. I mean, give us some of your thoughts about this. I mean, is this kind of like weird for you, especially with you getting to watch Manny Pacquiao against Julio Cesar against Juan Manuel Marquez, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo. I mean, is this weird for you watching something like this?
Well, it's kind of fitting we're talking about movies and entertainment because that's what this boxing card is going to be, entertainment. So if you're an old head, I guess we'll qualify as an old head after 35 years old. I don't know, because I'm under that. So I'm trying to avoid being an old head. Go on.
50 plus?
Okay. If you want to watch a boxing card, and you know Floyd Mayweather because he's one of the best of all time, go into this entertainment card, viewing it that way. It's entertainment. Have a good time. Saturday night, like you're watching a movie, because it's not going to be real boxing. It's going to be a couple legit boxing bouts on the event, on the Showtime pay-per-view, but the main event won't be. It's Floyd Money Mayweather against Logan Paul, who is known from YouTube and podcasting. So he is not a legit fighter. But the way Mayweather kind of sells is, like he always says, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. So this does. And I think I think I was talking somewhere and they were asking me, how much do you think Logan Paul is going to make? I guess $100 million. And because he is that big, well known, and I think Conor McGregor must have gotten like $200 million when Mayweather fought Pacquiao. I think he got over $300 million. So I'm just estimating, but I'm guessing Logan Paul is to make $900 million because he gets attention, eyeballs. This pay-per-view is going to do pretty well.
Conor got 200.
That is my guess. I think he probably got guaranteed $100 million, but then throw in the pay-per-view revenue and all that. And I'm gonna guess for Logan because he's not a legit fighter, but he brings attention. Like we're talking about it on the show, but I get the whole aspect of not being a real fight. We're gonna talk to Chad Johnson, Ochocinco later on. He's a legit athlete, but yeah, he's not a boxer. But he knows how to sell and be entertaining, and that's why he did so well in the NFL, and that's what he's still talked about today. That's what Logan Paul does, but not as an athlete. So that's what kind of rubs people the wrong way.
Is this going to be better or worse, in your opinion, than Mayweather-McGregor?
Worse, because at least McGregor, it was a trained martial artist who was a striker in MMA. What you saw with Logan Paul's brother Jake Paul and Ben Askren last month, that was kind of a joke because Ben Askren can't strike. He's a wrestler. At least with Conor McGregor, he could throw punches. He might throw them a little weird, like these. I don't even remember the rabbit punches and like kind of the weird ankles. Like boxing and MMA are so different, but at least he knows how to throw a punch and he has power behind it. And talking about that fight, McGregor did well because I think Mayweather let it go well. Like he was just okay. Let me toy around, give the fight fans more than a few rounds. And I know Mayweather doesn't have power, but he knows how to embarrass you and punish you. And McGregor could take a punch. I don't think Logan Paul can. And I know he's trying to sell the fight as being this giant guy. He's much bigger, and weight classes matter for a reason, but he's not a real boxer. And I know Mayweather is older and he doesn't have power, but his thing is skills. He's going to pick you apart. So if you're one of those people that don't like YouTube people and you're rooting for Mayweather to do well, which is weird because people don't really root for Mayweather. He is the villain or the heel. But you want if you're a big boxing fan, you don't want the YouTube guy to be the best of all time or one of the best of all time. So I think he's going to punish him, but it's going to be Mayweather dictating the pace. I haven't looked. I should look how much the pay-per-view is going for. That's going to be a big debate. Like if you're a big fan of Mayweather, you're going to throw the money. But if you're not into this kind of circus kind of show, you're not going to spend the money. So I'm going to be curious about that too. But we're talking about it. I want to see Mayweather come back. Like Manny Pacquiao's coming back too for a real fight. Errol Spence Jr. Mayweather is not. But my takeaway from this is that I'm giving you like kind of the preview, but like my analysis is like I'm gonna go into this card with an open mind because I want to be entertained. I want to see the sport succeed, and it finally in boxing we're getting these big cards. I mentioned Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3. These fights are happening in the next coming weeks or the next months in the summer. Speaking of blockbuster, summer movies, these fights are going to be in the summer. So I'm excited for that point of view. But it's just with boxing, it's so old school. It's such a old school mentality. So one thing they never recovered after Mayweather left is how to sell fights, how to promote yourself. And guys like Chad Johnson and Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they know how to sell. And that's what we forget in the whole boxing world. You know how to sell fight. You know how to be a heel. You know how to promote yourself. You're going to get eyeballs. And that's what boxing is all about. And I know the skills are going to be different, but until these other boxers learn how to promote themselves, you're going to be asking yourself, why aren't there big fights? Well, they are. It's just you don't really know about the guy.
Yeah, in my opinion, Gilbert, and I mean, I've tried to learn more and more about boxing. I mean, you've been helping me out trying to learn more and more. But I mean, I have been a big boxing fan since I was a kid. I remember watching some of these. My thing is that I hope Canelo kind of stays away from this. I know Canelo's gone back and forth with some of the Paul brothers. I hope he kind of stays away from this for a little bit just because I know it's enticing. I know the money's going to be enticing. Obviously, Canelo has his contract to do with DAZN. But as soon as I think right now, Canelo, in my opinion, is like this, Gilbert. He's really trying to finish up that contract and see what else is out there. That's why I think he's fought already twice this year. I could see him fight another 2 times, and really by next year he could be done with that contract. I hope he stays away from it. But my thing is, I think if Conor McGregor loses to Dustin Poirier again, I think he's going to look at that route and say, you know what? I could probably make a lot of money fighting both of these I was going to say sisters, both of these brothers, and get some money off of this. I really think that Conor's going to look at that and be like, and there's been beef. There's been a lot of beef between the Paul brothers and Conor McGregor. Shout out to World Star for keeping me up to date with those because they always put up both of their videos going back and forth. But it's interesting. I mean, it's gonna. I don't know who's getting. I mean, obviously, you're hoping Floyd Mayweather wins for the sake of boxing. Yeah. I could never see Floyd Mayweather take a dive like Ben Askren did. I can't see that. It's funny. I saw a video where Ben Askren's taking all these licks in the UFC, and he couldn't take one punch from Jake Paul. I was like, algo me huele raro, and it wasn't me. No fui yo. But but I don't know, man. I mean, this weekend's gonna be interesting. I hope our guy comes out of it well. Chad Johnson. He's fighting some like bare knuckle guy. We're gonna get into that obviously, but it's gonna be an interesting card. By the way, $50 is the to buy the pay-per-view. $50
time. That's not bad. Yeah, you want to be entertained. You're not getting ripped off.
I guess I know where I'm going.
Yeah, and yeah, you could come shoot through if you want. But $50 is not bad for an entertainment card. Like, I think for Mike Tyson, it might have been the same kind of price, and maybe for Jake Paul and Ben Askren. But the McGregor and the Pacquiao fights against Mayweather, those were like $100.
100.
Yeah. So this is
The McGregor one was 100.
I'm
Ask me
surprised.
how I know.
Because you paid for it.
I paid for the McGregor one. I did not pay for the Mayweather-Pacquiao. I didn't think because I had
Wow.
heard I heard that he had torn his labrum.
Yeah.
I think Pacquiao. So I was like, it's not going to be as entertaining as I thought. And the McGregor one, I kind of had held out hope that maybe for some reason, maybe he goes crazy and maybe puts him on the ground just because he's nuts. But I love the lead up to that fight. When you talk about two guys that can sell a fight, they sold that fight. Like this dude was coming out and he's like, F the Mayweathers. And then everybody would scream it. And like, it would just get so like, I remember in one of those, he has a bag. Man. Mayweather has a bag and Connor comes up and grabs it. He's like, there's like $3,000 in there. And then he brings out the bag. He was just, they sold it so well.
You gotta sell. You know that from wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys, some of these boxers need to take note and the people
even Canelo kind of needs to take note because I think he goes off of his name.
Doing it with put it. I don't want to get too sidetracked.
Yeah.
The only people that don't really have to sell too much is the superstar Mexican boxers because Latinos are they buy fights. We love fights and we're gonna pay for them. We're gonna throw money at it. And I think we're the driving force of revenue for combat sports. Latinos love it. So if you're a Mexican superstar, it's okay. If you're not, it's gonna be a struggle because you need to sell and talk. But even Canelo Alvarez has been talking. That's why his English on TikTok went viral, and we've been waiting for that. And he was a star before that. Now he's gonna be a bigger star. He's trash talking, and maybe he's just more because you don't want to rush people in a different language to pick it up more. Now he's comfortable. Now he's being himself, and this is what we were waiting for. And I think it's sidetracked. I started thinking the other day. Canelo's been doing a lot of stadium fights. There hasn't been a fight at SoFi Stadium. And imagine, Mexicans coming out to SoFi Stadium for the big first fight in Los Angeles, and Canelo being there. I want to see that.
Ooh, that'd be, you know what though? And I was going to ask you right now, Canelo keeps on teasing the whole Mexico City thing.
Yeah, that might be next.
But for some reason, he doesn't go, he hasn't done it yet. And I thought he was going to do it before, obviously, the pandemic and everything hit. But I thought he was going to do it. And I don't see him doing it for at least another year. Because of everything, I know Mexico's gotten hit hard with COVID, and the United States is opening up, so I don't see him going back for another year. But SoFi Stadium, he'd have to do something huge, though. Like, he would have to go with somebody huge to really sell that out. Like, if he really wants to get...
I don't think so. I think he'd do it on his own.
You think he could do it against anybody?
LA fight fans come out. They're going to come out. And
I want to see him and Pacquiao. Him and Pacquiao would be interesting.
He's too small, bro. Now, again, Canelo's a legit fighter. Weight classes are going to matter. True. It's just his weight class. They're not a lot of big stars. If he fights Triple G for a third time, Triple G is not the same fighter.
That'd be
a big name, and you could sell out for sure. SoFi Stadium, but
Would the Compas be there?
I hope, but I'm kind of getting sidetracked. I know we gotta go to the Chad Johnson interview, but I think the weekend of Mexican Independence weekend will be. I'm guessing because I'm knowing off the Charger schedule, September 19th to play the Cowboys. Yeah. The day before that will have to be, I think, September 18th. But it will be kind of hard to do boxing, football back-to-back weekends. So that's why I think maybe a stadium fight for Canelo might not be September because it's football season, but maybe in May bring him back and do it in LA.
That'd be interesting. Before we jump over to Chad Johnson, prediction for Mayweather versus Logan.
I'll say Mayweather in 7 rounds. Knockout, picks them apart.
I'll say Mayweather in 4.
Ooh, okay.
I think Mayweather. I think this is different than McGregor. I think he actually likes McGregor.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of have an understanding. They talk shit. They have fun. But I feel like for some reason these guys do not like each other. I know the whole hat thing that looked a little staged, but I think Mayweather's going to take this personal and say, "You really think a YouTuber can box? Clap, 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 bang, out of there." So that's what I'm going to do. But before we get to Chad Johnson and Asante Samuel, those interviews, you guys should get hyped. I'm hyped. Are you hyped, Gilbert?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Let's hear quickly from Dan and Dago.
Oh, that guy.
I don't even know why I'm here. You, the listeners, already know to go to Brewery X in Anaheim. That's the place to be. I'm going over there before and after my next trip to Disneyland. Now that I think about it, I should have bet Gilbert tickets to Disneyland because, of course, Timothy Tebow is going to lead the league in receiving yards for tight end this upcoming season. Anyway, go to Brewery X in Anaheim. Plenty of beers and hard seltzers to choose from. Trust us, you're going to have a good time. Now let's hear from Ochocinco, followed by Asante Samuel Jr.
We have a very special guest joining us now. He goes by many names, but on this show, he's Compa Chad. He's a jefe de jefes, a smooth operator on the football field, and now in the boxing ring. Of course, I'm talking about the great Chad Johnson, Mr. Ochocinco, and he has a major fight on June 6th during the Floyd Mayweather-Logan Paul pay-per-view Showtime broadcast. Chad, thank you for joining us. How's training going?
Training going good. Training is going good. I'm having fun. I'm out here in Houston training with the Charlo twins and in their camp as both are preparing for fights that are upcoming, and it's been enjoyable. It's been enjoyable. I mean, I've had my Tylenol on hand for getting hit so much, but other than that, it's okay.
Hey, Chad, before I ask you about the Charlo twins, who are two of the best in boxing right now, Jermell and Jamal, you probably get this question all the time, but what are the motives behind getting in the boxing ring? You were a star in the NFL, and now you're going to boxing. Obviously, the money must be nice, but what are your real motives for trying out this challenge?
The money doesn't matter because I save almost 85% of what I made during my playing days, but it's always fun. I'm not a soccer player, right? But I tried out for Sporting KC. I'm not a bull rider, but you know what? The opportunity presents itself to ride a PBR bull, and I jumped on a bull. I'm not a porn star, but I did amateur. Never mind, I'm just playing.
Keep going, Chad.
But listen, I've used boxing as a way to prepare for football season for maybe 14, 15 years. Every offseason, footwork, hand-eye coordination, sparring with individuals. Obviously, not to the level that I'm doing now with the Charlo twins. But I just had to know what it was like to do it. And I'm one that's not scared to get in the ring. I'm one that's not scared to take chances in life. I'm one that's not scared to fail. I'm not afraid to post my losses or lose publicly. It happens. That's part of life. Life has ups and downs, you know. And I'm not one of those that just sit back and play it safe all the time, you know. I have this wonderful phrase that I love to say. I love to say that a lot of people are just alive, but they're not living. There's a difference. And I'm living. I'm not just alive, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense, Chad. But you mentioned that the sparring competition or the level has increased with the Charlo twins.
Oh.
How's that going? And what are you learning with the twins?
They're fucking me up.
So you're actually in the ring with them.
I'm cursing because it's good. It's good for me. It's good for me. And not while they're fucking me up, they're teaching at the same time. And it's work, as they call it. It's work, and there's never a bad day. That's ring talk that I've never heard of. I don't feel like I'm doing what I should be doing, but obviously I'm in the ring with the best in the world. I'm not going to be able to hang or compete, but I'm getting a better understanding of what it should look like. Will I be able to look like them? No, it's not going to happen. But the work that I'm getting is going to be extremely beneficial for me come June 6th.
And Chad, are they officially your trainers, or who's actually going to be in your corner?
My trainer in my corner will be Ralph Jacob. He's flew in town to work with me, and obviously the work that I needed to get before fighting, it had to be here with the twins, and so I could see what it's like at that level. You know, to be able to do 3-4 rounds with them, 3-minute rounds. Obviously, working a little longer than what I'll be doing June 6th. To make sure my wind, my cardio, and everything is where it should be.
Chad, I don't know if you announced it yet, but what weight class is this, and how's the diet going? Because I saw that you tweeted that you're missing McDonald's right now.
Yeah, they got me on these freaking like green stuff. Like what are we doing here? You know, today's Taco Tuesday. They got broccoli and guacamole. Like, why have broccoli and guacamole? You don't need 2 greens. What do you need 2 greens for? It's cool, and I think I'll be able to manage. And I mean, till June 6th, you know, after the 6th, I'll have McDonald's. I have a cigar. I haven't had a cigar in a month almost 2 months now since
Wow.
I was asked to do this. So I should be fine.
Okay. And Chad, one important question: is this a one and done fight, or you have a second bout in mind?
I want to get through the first one safe. You know, I want to get through the first one safe and doing all the basic and doing all the basic fundamental things that I've learned the right way, protecting myself, keeping my hands up all the time, you know, being able to catch, dodge, counter. Just if I can put all that stuff together the right way and continue to work and take it serious, then I would. But again, I'm 53 years old. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? It's just I have opportunity present itself, and I'm doing it. Like, if I get a chance, just for some godforsaken reason, somebody called me like, Chad, no, there are killer whales out here on South Beach and it's a pod of them swimming. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to the beach and I'm gonna jump in the water because it's an experience that I've always wanted to do. Whether I die, it's okay. It's okay. At least I went out the right way. Listen, I get in the ring. Hey, listen, at least I went out the right way, doing something that, you know, taking a chance. But that's not going to happen. Just throwing it out. Good analogy.
Chad, what do you expect to see from Brian Maxwell? Because he's a true fighter.
Oh,
He's done
yeah.
MMA, bare knuckle,
I like him.
all that stuff.
I like him. Like he comes in there with conviction. Southpaw. He loves the hang. I like the way he sets up the 1-2. He's really nice. He's really nice. I've studied him a lot. I've studied him a lot. Heavy hander, and a good puncher. A lot of power behind the punches.
How different is it to scout a fighter than scouting a cornerback that you're going to go up against?
It's the same way. It's similar. It's the same way. And the thing that there's footage for me to watch on him. It's to somewhat of advantage, and he still has advantage over me, obviously because he is a trained fighter with ring experience. I am a NFL player with adequate experience in the ring, sparring, not to his magnitude. So he has an advantage over me, and that's okay. That's okay.
That's going to be exciting. Chad, Gilbert and I are also NFL reporters, and we cover the Chargers closely out in LA. So we got to ask you about Keenan Allen. For some reason, he continues to be forgotten and as one of the top receivers in the NFL. Obviously, you were one of the great ones at your position. How do you view Keenan Allen?
Phenomenal. And I've always said that. I'm the EA Madden's rating adjuster, and I always talk about Keenan Allen, being one of the best, especially when it comes to route running. There's tiers to route runners in the NFL, and there's tier 1, tier 2, and obviously Keenan Allen is in tier 1 with him and Devontae Adams, somewhat really separating themselves from the rest of the class. And there are some great receivers in the NFL, and it's just the fact of the matter. Regardless, I know other people are going to argue the fact, you know, the Julio and Amari and Jerry Jeudy and all these other guys. Tier 1, I left somebody out, Stephon Diggs, and he's really good. I think for me, if he was a little bit more boisterous, you know, a little bit more flamboyant the way I was, then people would be able to pay attention. I know because I understand the skill set and the DNA that he possesses as a receiver. And I think obviously being out there on the West Coast, and it's just, you know, he's quiet with it. You know, you'd have to understand and know the game of football to know that he is arguably the top route runner in the NFL, 1A, 1B, or 1A, 1C. When it comes to him, Diggs, and Adams, it can go either way. It's just based on the style that you like.
Chad, sorry, Chad, one more question before we let you go, because we are in Los Angeles. I saw you start at Santa Monica College with Steve Smith.
Yeah.
You know, do you think about those days in Santa Monica College and now where you are, you know, boxing, NFL star, you know, YouTube sensation?
I never thought about it. It's a good question, but I've never really thought about it. I just live, man. Just day by day, you know, whatever happened in the past is the past. What's next? And that's just how I've always been, just in general.
Chad, we appreciate you jumping on with the Compas. Before I let you go, I just want to tell you, I freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude, love you too, man. Like when I come to LA, me, you, cigars, cafe con leche.
Anytime. And we know LA. We know you know LA, Chad. So we'll definitely be doing that again. We appreciate your time, Chad.
No problem.
Good luck on June 6th. Now let's introduce the next great Florida State Nole who's playing in the NFL. That is, of course, Chargers cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. Asante, how are you? And one quick question, is Florida State the best DB university in the country?
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, we got some great DBs out here in LA, Jalen Ramsey, Derwin. I mean, we got another running back, Cam Makers, and myself. So I mean, that's for Knowles right there.
Yeah, Asante, we love the FSG representation of the NFL. You guys are everywhere. But I want to ask about you, Asante. You know, you're brand new to the NFL. You know, how OTA is treating, how you kind of settle into the NFL life so far?
It's everything going smooth so far. Coach Stanley has a great organization of how he does practice and how he wants everybody to get reps and just basically using your mind at a NFL pace. That's the only difference right now. Just mentally, just processing everything and be able to do your assignment to the best of your ability.
And every time I watch you on the field, for some reason, I see you always kind of shadowing number 5, Josh Palmer. Does it feel like it's back in the high school days, you guys together kind of going at it?
Oh, yeah, it definitely feels like high school days. I mean, me and my boy been grinding for this for all our life. And it's crazy how we end up on the same team. So I'm just blessed to have him on the team.
How about with the other wide receivers? Like, because there's Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Like, how's it facing those guys so far?
It's been good. I've been telling them guys, hey, give me your best every play because I need to work and I'm trying to be the best and trying to get better. So I want them to give them their best every day. So I'm going to give them my best every day.
I'm excited, Gilbert. I'm excited for training camp when we see those battles happen. Asante, we know Derwin recruited you during the draft. I mean, as soon as the draft was over, when we got to speak to you, you said you were happy because Derwin had been telling you, I'm telling you, we're going to be together. Now that you guys are, it finally came true and you're together on the field. How is it being teaming with Derwin?
It's been good. He's a great leader, a great facilitator on the field, making sure everybody know what they doing, just that energy. So basically just kind of just sitting back right now, just trying to learn everything and seeing how you run things and just kind of like just going with the flow right now.
We're gonna jump back into the time machine and we're going back to high school. Let's take you back to there. Why is St. Thomas Aquinas such a football factory in Florida? Joey Bosa also went there. Is a level of competition, does that help you guys prepare for the college level?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, I went to school when I was there, I think probably over 40, 50 guys went Division I from St. Thomas. So going out there competing every day in practice was practice was harder than the games for me. And St. Thomas was kind of harder than Florida State for me, like on the field. So it was just like it was a smooth transition.
Asante, do you live? Is that where you grew up near Fort Lauderdale, or are you kind of a different part of Florida?
No, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so you're familiar with the whole football factory there and all the players and all the greats that came out of there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and Asante, one thing I've kind of noticed from you, you know, obviously you love your dad a lot. We know your dad really well from playing the NFL, you know, Super Bowl champion, you know, played for the Patriots and the Eagles. But it feels like you always kind of want to make a name for yourself, create your own path. So maybe you don't talk about them too much because you want to, you know, stand on your own 2 feet. You know, is that am I right on that assessment? And do you kind of get tired of people saying when you were a kid, you know, there's Asante's kid right there, and you kind of want to make a name for yourself?
I mean, not really, because I mean, I can have a NFL dad or a Pro Bowl dad, but at the end of the day, I got to go out there and make plays, or nobody gonna respect me. So I kind of just try to demand my respect on the field, and then everything else is gonna play out. I mean, that's my dad. I can't. It comes with it, but it's definitely a blessing.
It wasn't that long ago that your dad was in the NFL, so I'm sure you have a lot of memories from his playing days. Do any of these memories stick out to you from his playing days?
I mean, here and there. I mean, just time flew for sure, but definitely some memories that I remember from when he was playing.
Asante, I remember after the draft, or once you were drafted, you're sitting there, swagged out, cool T-shirt. You were looking really fly. You told us that there was not 7 better corners than you. 7 had been taken before you. You said there's not 7 better guys than me. Has it gotten annoying to an extent? Like, oh, this whole time, your size gets brought up. Does that kind of get annoying with you? Does that annoy you that people keep on talking about your size and they don't really see the level of play that you have on the field?
Oh yeah, for sure, and it really kind of makes me like mad a little bit because I see guys that's my size in the NFL. Like I'm the same height as most of like starting DBs in the NFL, so I don't know like what that had to do with anything. But I mean, it's over now. I got everybody on the same level right now. All the rookies on the same level, so it's about who can produce more now.
Asante, when the draft was happening, the draft process, it seemed like every time you'd look, the Chargers were talking to you. You talked a lot with the Chargers? Did you, when the draft was happening, the second round, when you saw it coming, did you feel like the Chargers was that destination that you wanted to go to? And what do you feel like they're building here right now?
Honestly, I felt like the Chargers was kind of like the last option in my mind. I figured like I wasn't going to be in California, like, but it happened. So what we're building right now, I feel like we're a young team, and we have a lot of great football players, great guys, great human beings. So I feel like the sky's the limit with this team. We just got to go out there and do what we need to do.
Are you all settled in now in Los Angeles? You found the home, or still in the hotel thing?
No, I'm still in the hotel. I got to find somewhere, but I'm slowly adjusting, trying to get right.
Asante, what excites you the most about LA? I mean, I know the football part. We're talking about the life in LA. I mean, you know, LeBron, there's Kawhi, it's the city of angels. What excites you the most about Los Angeles?
Just being able to be around, like just how you said, being around those type of people, learning from them, learning how they go about their business, and just basically it's a learning experience coming to LA. I just want to learn as much as I can and just and do my job to the best of the ability.
Do you like Mexican food?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that does that kind of excite you, having to come out to LA and get into it? Because like there's Mexican food, but there's like Sinaloa Mexican food, Jalisco Mexican, like there's so many different types. And I feel like LA is really the city that has all that different Mexican culture. Does that kind of excite you about being in LA?
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to just like being around. I just want to learn everything, learn different religions, different just different things. I want to learn anything I could possibly learn. So definitely I'll be trying to try some Mexican food out down here. You got to show me a good spot.
We will.
Definitely, Asante. We got many places for you. But before we let you go, just curious, besides your dad, who are some of your favorite NFL players growing up?
That's a good question. Honestly, I didn't like anybody on defense like that. I used to watch like guys like in college, Cam Newton. Cam Newton was one of them. Just guys that Michael Vick went in Atlanta. Yeah, so I just used to I played quarterback in Little League, so that's what I used to watch all the time, quarterback.
Okay, so that was your thing.
How good were you?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I need to know.
I mean, we won some Super Bowls in Little League, so I mean, I had to be all right.
Asante, before we let you go, one more random question, because we're going to have Chad Johnson on the show later on. Was he one of your favorite players as a wide receiver, and maybe him going at it with your dad a couple of times?
Oh yeah, he's one of the top tier wide receivers in the NFL and NFL history. But yeah, he was definitely one of those guys. He got a lot of swag about himself, very confident, hard worker, and I respect that about anybody. If you're a hard worker and confident and make plays, I mean, that's all you need to be in this league.
Asante, we're excited to see you make some plays this year. Number 26 out there. You're going to have a lot of fun in LA, and I feel like this defense is on the up and up, so we're definitely going to be excited to see you. We appreciate you joining Compas on the beat, and we wish you nothing but the best during OTAs and in that little break and then training camp.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's Dan and Dago again. It's time for the final segment, Una Mas, presented by the Garrison Brothers Bourbon. And I gotta say, Garrison Brothers Bourbon blew me away with their product. Great bourbon from Texas. Everything is better in Texas, and so is this bourbon. Gilbert and I shared a few glasses of Garrison Brothers, and we greatly approve of it. I don't know if you can tell, they've mentioned a few times on the show, I'm a big whiskey guy. My shirt says whiskey helps for those of you who can't see it. And it did help me come up with this great idea to get a free bottle of whiskey from Gilberto when he loses that bet with me about Tebow Mania. See, but Gilbert and I can get along on some things. We both like the bottle, so get yourself a bottle or two of Garrison Brothers bourbon. Now let's get to una más.
So Gilbert, I felt like I feel bad, bro. I mean, I was thinking about it right now during the interviews and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I was hogging the movie spotlight, and you said you're a hard critic. So I want to hear you talk about movies. Is there anything you got? Something? Give us something good. Like, I want to hear something about what's something movies, anything you've watched during the pandemic, anything like that. Like, give me something. Give us something.
Sorry, Fernando. I got to catch my breath because I saw Dan and Diego again, and that guy he just rubs me the wrong way. So like, okay, all right. You're asking about you're asking me about movies to end una más. Okay, yes. I remember now. I hate that guy, but whatever. After 20 years, your boy, your compa, has finally watched a Harry Potter movie. Actually, and I watched 2, and I want to talk about it. How do you feel about that?
Which one's Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets?
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at least you're watching them in order, because I know some people watch them.
I
know some people that have watched them out of order and they don't understand them, and I'm like, dude, watch the first.
Serial killers.
I know.
Watch it out of order.
Exactly. You have to watch them in order and everything, but you watched actually those. I actually thought all the Harry Potter movies were put together well. Funny story, real quick. My mom bought me all. We were in line for the Harry Potter book when it first came out and everything, and everybody was so excited. And I remember I read the first 6 Harry Potter books. The 7th one I did not read. Ask me why.
Because you're lazy.
No. Because I didn't want it to ruin the 2 last movies for me. Okay. My mom was like, "Who does that?" I'm like, "Right here, your boy." So I did not read I did not read the last book. I waited, watched the movie, and then watched the last 2 movies and then read the book. But what did you think about it?
Okay, yeah. So I need 6 more to go, and it kind of started off shaky. The first one was pretty boring, I gotta say. I fell asleep a couple times. I had to finish it in a couple days. It was really long too. Yeah.
Are you a human being?
I am. I'm a good person inside too.
You are. But
besides when I see Dan and Diego, oh my god. But no, the first one sucked, and I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really like it, and so I kept pushing because it has to be a reason why people watch 8 of these movies. Like, oh my god, it's like a marathon.
Bro, the first one sets us up.
It was all talking.
You get to meet little Harry. Harry goes to Hogwarts.
I guess, I don't know. Like, the beginning was kind of weird.
Wingardium Leviosa, swish and flick.
It had to take me a while to get used to those weird, was it magic words? I'm like, what are we doing here? What's going on? But
bro, you have to learn some of the small spells until you get to the big ones.
It's a little
Alohomora.
What are we talking about here? And then I was like, why can't we say Voldemort? I'm saying it right now, but like, what's going on here? His name is Voldemort. And then I'm like,
he who must not be named.
And I'm like, it's that freaking snake guy. And obviously, I'm not trying to ruin the movie, but after 20 years, you should probably see it.
If Gilbert's barely watching him.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like the last person. Like, I'm talking like, yeah, you have it. Where you been under a rock? Yeah, it's me.
Exactly.
I'm living there with you. But it set up to a nice ending. And then I got good. All right. Let me just say that. I don't think there's a lot of people who disagree. I don't know. It was the first one supposed to be good. I feel like it was a little slow. No?
The first one's good. I like when he meets Draco. When he's like, when like Draco like steals a little ball from him, and he's like, maybe if the fat lump gave this a squeeze, he could learn something, or he could remember something with his fat ass. And then he goes up, and then Harry's like, give it here, Malfoy, I'll knock you off your broom. Then he like throws it. Bro, he becomes part of the Quidditch team. Bro.
Yeah, I like that little game they play. I'll say
Quidditch.
That. Okay, I forgot the names already, but maybe after 8 movies I'll figure it out. But it's like
they kind of slow down with Quidditch. When the more you get, the slower they get with Quidditch.
I guess, but it was cool. I think it was in the first 2 movies, so I was like, oh, it might be a reoccurring thing. But
are you a partial mouth? Can you speak to snakes?
Yeah,
Yes.
Don't go too far. You might spoil some. But yes,
I would not. I would never.
Because you know these things in order, like where they. But yeah,
And in my head, like I can tell you all.
I'm not getting words. Don't say anything. I don't want to hear.
No, I
but
would
yes,
never.
I saw where people kind of freaked out when he's like trying to do his like what's magic spell fight with the little blonde kid with the curly whatever.
Oh, Draco.
That's Draco.
When they finally meet, when he's like scared, Potter.
Yes, dude, you really know this word
bro.
for word.
What about when what's his name goes? He's like he tries to defend Hermione and he's like eat slugs, and then he like deflects the spell back to him and he starts throwing up slugs.
I'm guessing
Ron Weasley.
I was gonna say with the Weasleys. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's another one that I loved. That was hilarious.
I'm guessing I'm not the first person to always think you're Heine when I hear her name. I'm guessing I'm not the first person to make that
Hermione,
joke.
bro.
You're Heine. I don't
Hermione.
know. I've been mature, but anyways, I'm not the first person to think that joke. But she's a great character. In the second one, she introduces us to Moaning Margaret. What's her name?
Moaning Myrtle, bro.
Myrtle. Okay, there we go.
Saw the basilisk.
Yeah, so that was cool. And the second one got better. There's more to it. The secrets were kind of cool. Some dude came from another world, I forget, from the past, and they were fighting. Or he was actually
Tom Riddle. That's
no,
Tom
he
Riddle.
was he was I forgot the name of the guy we don't speak of. Who's that guy? Voldemort. Okay. I'm ruining the movie, but second one was good. So I'm gonna keep going and push to the next 6. And that is the end of my 2 movie reviews. But I want to say that I've claimed the house. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not Game of Thrones. You don't claim a house. You get sorted into a house, bro.
So what I took a test on the Harry Potter website.
The sorting hat goes on your head.
Oh yeah.
Remember, Draco, it didn't even make it to his head. It said Slytherin. He already knew.
Hufflepuff. That's where all the weird kids go, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
artsy kids.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I am not a Hufflepuff. I'll say that.
Okay.
But if you are, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's not me. I'm Gryffindor, bro.
Oh, you're basic then.
Basic,
okay.
bro.
But I am the other one. And by the way, shout out to Karen, big time Chargers fan, supporter of Compas on the Beat. She tweeted at me.
Oh yeah, Karen.
House.
Love Karen.
I was like, what is she talking about? So I went to go take the official test on the Harry Potter website. I'm legit now. I'm part of the club. Took the test, and it said I am a Ravenclaw.
There you go.
And apparently, Ravenclaws are writers, and we're smart, and we're awesome. So that sounds like me.
Yeah, no, Karen. I know Karen's a huge Harry Potter person. It's funny. One time I was at Disneyland and I'm walking through. It was the opening of the whole Star Wars thing, and I bumped in and I was like, "Oops, sorry." And I turn around and it's Karen and her husband Eddie. I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And we just got to talking and everything. So Karen's obviously she's great. So
I think she said she's a Ravenclaw too, and
I think she's a Ravenclaw also. So there you go.
There you go.
You guys are in the same house.
Nice. Okay, but yes, that is my Harry Potter movie review.
Sorting hat, bro. Sorting hat.
Sorting guy with the witch hat, whatever. But
Dumbledore,
whatever.
Dork. Excuse me.
What's the name of the big dude?
Hagrid.
Oh. Okay. Speaking of Game of Thrones, that one like slimy dude, old guy with the long hair, he was a Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
the
about?
Red Wedding.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I gave you the worst description ever, but you got it. Cool. I knew that was him. Okay.
We're a tag team for a reason.
Boom. Tag me in. But yes, tag me out now because I'm done with my movie review.
All right. So this is gonna be a fun weekend. I'm excited for that fight. I'm telling you. Hopefully you get hopefully within the rest of this week you get a Harry Potter movie out of the way. You know what? We should do this. Every time you watch 2 Harry Potter movies, we'll talk about it on Compas and you can break them down. So we'll do that. Gilbert's Harry Potter Adventure or something like. We'll get a better name for it.
I don't want to bore people, and then if I hate it, and people are gonna hate me. So it's a lose-lose.
As long as Karen enjoys it, that's all that matters.
Okay, fine. I'm cool with that. I might take my time, but Fernando, before we end the show, I gotta say, I love that you and Ochocinco hit it off. That you guys saying you guys love each other. That was awesome, and I'm gonna hold them to that. Café con leche and all that. So hopefully it happens in Los Angeles. But that
would be awesome. I mean, especially because honestly, he's such a personable guy, great human being, and it was just awesome. It was awesome getting to talk to him. I mean, before we started the interview, just in case for any, before we started it, I'm like, "Hey, Chad, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this. We're gonna do this." And he goes, "I love you, sir." And then I was like, "I love you too." And he got us a big smile on his face. So he is just great, awesome. So This was a great episode, Gilbert. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this weekend, and I'm excited for your Harry Potter journey to continue on your broomstick. I hope you keep on enjoying it with your wand and everything.
Yeah, next time I see you, I'm gonna give you a spell and say it right.
You don't even know how to say any of them. Do you remember one spell?
Hocus Pocus.
This guy, it's not the movie with Bette Midler. By
Whatever.
the way, Hocus Pocus 2 comes out next year. I'm excited for that. All the original cast is coming out. But hey, for right now, you know what, Gilbert? Vámonos.
¿Ya nos vamos? Pues, vámonos.